Good morning, family. The time is 7:59 a.m. and the date is May 28th, 2021. I'm going to do the math on the time at least. Okay, so 7 and 5 is 12. 12 and 9 is 21, and 2 and 1, you reduce it all to a single number. That comes to a 3. I love that. Okay, so you know what? I'm just going to open up. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be myself. And actually this perfectly ties in with what I wanted this conversation to be about. And just remember, who am I talking to? Patrice, I'm talking to you, baby. And to those of you who may be listening, first of all, thank you for being here. And if you get something from this, which I pray you do, I hope you do, hey, I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to you too, baby. Okay. So let's get it. When I think about the number 3, and this is why I was saying I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to open up. It's hard to say this out loud, not the number 3 thing, but it's hard to say this out loud because of my background, my faith, as a Christian, coming up, knowing the Lord through the church, knowing the Lord in relationship with Jesus Christ, that's something that God, I can't believe I'm going to say this word, tarot. Whew, I put it out there. Okay. Tarot and things of that nature is something that I was taught to, we don't do that. We don't do divination. We stay away from that stuff, okay? And I say this 100% with respect to everybody's beliefs. I read tarot cards. Okay. And the beliefs that I should be respecting the most are my own. I'm actually thinking of an oracle card from a deck that I want to buy. I don't know what the deck is called, but it's a deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and it's her It's an animal deck. And the deck that I'm thinking about, I'm going to get to the number 3 in a second, I promise. The deck that I'm thinking, the card from that deck that I'm thinking about is, it's the dolphin spirit. And it says, this and that are true. Okay. And that card came up in a reading that I was watching from Minnow Tarot, Chris of Minnow Tarot. Shout out to Colette Baron-Reid and shout out to Chris. I watch both of their channels. I watch a lot of different channels, and I have some favorites for sure. But that card, this and that are true, came up. And it really, I had been thinking about that card, interestingly enough. And was it Chris? It may have been another reader, but either way, shout out to Chris or shout out to whoever's video I was watching when that card came up. But the thing is, I had been thinking about that card specifically. And when it did come up, I was thinking about how I can be this and I can be that. I don't have to choose. I'm just being me. And who I am is this, and who I am is that. Who I am is a person who believes and loves and follows, Christ. And I am also a person who loves tarot cards. And I truly believe that my relationship, my walk with the Lord got deeper when I let go of that fear and I just dove into my curiosity. It's amazing. The beautiful the word that's in my mind is marriage. The beautiful marriage of those two systems, languages, I would say, because I look at, religion, spirituality, Christianity, for example, I look at that as a spiritual language, it's the language, it's a spiritual language, that we you can use to connect with a higher power, God, and it's funneled or channeled, I suppose. I can't find the words, but it's channeled through the understanding of Christ and, his work of, coming down to live out this, human existence for the purpose of dying for our sins, right? That's one thing that I believe. That's one language, I believe that tarot is another language that we can use to, explore like spirituality and connecting with a higher power, connecting and getting to know ourselves. Astrology, numerology, I look at all of those as different languages, and they are languages that I'm learning. One of them I happen to be more fluent in, Christianese. Okay, but let me get back to the number 3. Oh, when I opened my eyes, interestingly, 6:03 was the time that I saw. And that adds up to a 9, which is my life path number. You know what? I'm loving all of this. To you who are listening, if you're still here, I know all of you may be like, what's the point? What are you getting to? What are you getting to? Well, let me get to it now by going back to the number 3. The number 3, when I think of it, it reminds me of the Empress card in the tarot deck. Empress energy is divine feminine energy. And feminine energy is the energy that allows us to receive. It is creative energy. It's the energy that allows us to rest and build, when you think of build by resting, when you think of a woman, think of a woman who's expecting, right? She is doing something that is so incredibly powerful. She's creating life within her body, Her body is doing the things that it was created to do, that it has the power to do, right? And that is divine feminine energy. It's the ability to receive. So we are, as women, self-identified women, we are receptors, we receive, like thinking about like sex and like the process of creating life, we receive the seed from the male, and like it grows, in tandem with our egg, We are receivers. That is divine feminine energy. On the other side of that, the number 4 in the tarot deck is the Emperor. And that is divine masculine energy. Divine masculine energy is the energy of, get up and go, make it happen. It's protection. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's divine masculine energy. And we as human beings, we have aspects of both within us. We have divine feminine energy and we have divine masculine energy. If we only had one, we have masculine and feminine energy. If we only had masculine or feminine energy, it's like if we were all feminine energy, we wouldn't where's your protection? Where's your, not saying that women can't protect themselves. I'm not saying that at all. But it's like we have that masculine energy in us that propels us to get up and go, to get up and work, to get up and do the things that we have to do, Men, people who identify as male also have feminine energy, which is the energy of being able to receive. As a man, if you were all masculine, that if you didn't have like that feminine energy, you wouldn't oh gosh. Okay. I'm going to dive into that. Oh my gosh. See, I'm not a wordsmith when it comes to this. What language did I say I was fluent in? Christianese. Okay. All of this when it comes to divine masculine and divine feminine, it's a different language that I'm just now learning. So I don't have all the words. I'm not super eloquent, but if you're following along, just stick with me. And I appreciate you again for being here. Okay. So as a masculine, as a divine masculine, or as a man, you also have feminine energy. And that is the energy that allows you to receive and allows you to create. It allows you to rest as well. We need both. And we need to be able to tap into both of those energies. I think sometimes, people, I don't say people, but it can get confusing because we, as a society, ascribe like masculinity and femininity to genders. It's like masculinity belongs to a male, femininity belongs to a female. And I think for that reason, a lot of people sometimes, I think especially males, kind of have issues tapping into their feminine energy because they don't want to be seen as feminine. They don't, because they see feminine as woman. And it's just like toxic masculinity is coming to mind. I'm not trying to like crap on anybody or anything, but it's just a discussion. And in my mind, when I think of toxic masculinity, I think of really not just that inability, but that refusal to tap into the softer side, because it's perceived as weakness. And that's very unfortunate, because is there anything weak about a woman who is, for example, is there anything weak about a woman who is expecting? You know what I mean? That's some of the hardest work that her body will do. Literally sustaining another life inside of her. Excuse me. I should use gender neutral pronouns when I'm talking about giving birth. I want to acknowledge that there are people who give birth who don't identify as female, and please be respectful, even if you disagree. I'm a person who is open to everybody's paths, as long as your path is one that leads to your highest and greatest good, that leads to, deeper love of self and deeper love of all. You know what I mean? Let there be love, which is the highest vibration, the highest energy of all. Love. That's what it's all about. Ooh, and that ties in. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you, God. Okay, but I just lost the thing that I was saying before I said that. Well, I hope I made a solid point. What I wanted to talk about, however, in this conversation was this question that's been really lingering on my mind for a few days now. And I knew that I wanted to record this and post it. And the question is, who am I? Or who are you? And not just who am I, but how do you define who you are? Think about that. When you introduce yourself to someone, think about how you introduced yourself. If you were standing up in front of a group, hi, my name is Patrice, and what goes in that blank right there? What goes in that blank? I am a woman. I am a black woman. I am a black woman with locks. Okay, that's a little bit of who I am. What else? Do I define myself by my vocation, by my career, by my net worth? Do I define myself by my hobbies? I like to crochet. I just started a garden in my parents' backyard. Do I define myself by how well I can cook? I think I cook pretty well. I enjoy it. I can go on and on and on. Do I define myself by my religion or my lack of religion? How do I define myself? And if I fit into one category, Like, for example, what I was saying earlier about identifying as a Christian, as a person who, believes in Jesus, if I put myself in that category, am I not also in another category? And what are these categories? Who made these categories? So many questions come to mind. But who am I? And I think that answering that question, for me, even beginning to answer that question, has been one of the most powerful things that I've ever done with my life. And to be completely honest, I think it's a question that I've been asking for a really, really, really long time, even without knowing it, because there is a deep yearning in my soul to get back to bring my reality back to who I really am. Remember who you are. Okay, The Lion King, are we here for it? Because I am. Okay. Remember who you are. I'm thinking of the song Find Your Way Back. Find your way back. Oh, and I just lost the lyrics, right? She said, you know what? I'm not even going to sing it right now. But Beyonce said, find your way back. Don't let this life drive you crazy. Okay, she just said that. She said, don't let this life drive you crazy. Daddy used to tell me, look up at the stars. It's been a long time, but remember who you are. Okay? Find your way back. Find your way back to yourself, to your soul, to your center. And for me, finding my way back to myself has also meant finding my way back to God. And I don't mean that in a religious sense of, now I got to go heavy in the church again. And there's nothing wrong with that. Please understand where I'm coming from. But now I got to go hard. I got to go heavy like I was in high school. Got to carry my big Bible around with a highlighter. Oh my God. If you knew me in high school, baby, then you knew the version of me that carried around my Bible. And I'm not talking about the little pocket Bible that you put in your book bag that you stick in your purse. I'm talking about the big Bible, the big study Bible with the tabs. And I had it in a case. Baby, listen, when I left out for school in the morning, it was book bag, purse, Bible. I didn't even put my Bible in my book bag. When I tell you I was proud to carry my Bible. And I'm laughing at myself right now, not because, I'm not laughing at myself right now because I think there was anything wrong with that period of my life, but it was just such a time of it was just a time of just pure zeal for the Lord. I was brand new in my walk with God. I was 15. I was 15 when I started going to church. I started going to church before when I was like 8. That is such a tender, sweet story. Oh my gosh. Maybe it'll come back up, but I feel like moving on right now. But yeah, when I was 15, I started going to church. I was freshman, sophomore in high school, I think. And I went hard. I went hard. And the thing is, I don't regret going hard for Jesus like I did. And honestly, I don't stand in regret for anything in my life, honestly. And that's new. That right there, not standing in regret for anything in my life, that is new. Like, as of this week, new. Because I understand that everything that I've gone through, even the things that I put my own self through, was made to shape and mold me, was made to push me further into who I really am. yeah, there were some things I believe that was there to, okay, I would say that darkness or the enemy, use whatever term resonates most with you, but I believe there's evil forces in this world that really do want to bring us down to that dark, heavy place where we are not shining, you know what I mean? Where we're not operating in our true selves. Because when you're operating in your true self, you're putting light and love out into the world. You have the ability to put light and love into the world. And the enemy does not want that to be. You know what I mean? However, I believe that there were things in my life throughout my whole life, and there will continue to be things in my life, that energies that will come to try to distract me, to try to bring me down. But as you grow and as you learn that you have the power to stand in your power. You have the power to stay in the light, You have the power to choose to be happy. You create your own reality. That reminds me of the number 1 card in tarot of the major arcana, and that is the Magician card. The Magician has all of the 4 elements. He has fire, he has water, he has earth, and he has air. He has all of those elements, right? And he has his higher self. He's tapped into his intuition, which is, and he's able to manifest and create the reality that he wants. That's the Magician card. That's the number 1 in tarot. And I absolutely love it. That made me think of the number 9, actually, which, remember earlier when I noted that it was 6:03. That's how long I had been talking at that time. And I said that added up to a 9, which is my life path number. But number 9 is also the Hermit card in tarot. And the Hermit card encourages us to go within. It guides us to go within, to find our inner light, Connect with your true self. And your true self is connected with the divine. That's what I meant when I said finding my way back to myself also meant finding my way back to God. And I had to realize that serving God doesn't mean putting myself under this heavy microscope of I must be right. I must be holy. What? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I must not be holy. Okay. I'm not saying holiness is not right. Okay. Saints, holiness is right. Amen. You haven't lost me there. Okay. However, I feel as though at the time in my life when I was like, I'm Christian to the point of I ain't going to hell. I'm scared of hell. I let me tell you the number of times that I sat in the office with my therapist. Shout out to you, to every therapist. I've had 3 of y'all so far. I need another one. Whew, beautiful stories there. Beautiful stories there. But I can't tell you the number of times I sat in my therapist's office and told her that I can't be myself in specific ways because I'm afraid that I'm going to go to hell. I'm afraid of hell. I realized that this fear of hell was, and please, guys, don't let me put that fear in you. That's not, I suppose at some point, if it comes up, we can, talk about that, but for me, I was like, I think that my walk with God was highly motivated by fear. It was like, I have to do this. I have to live this way, because if I don't live this way, I am facing eternal damnation and separation. I mean, do you hear and feel how heavy this is? Whew. I And I'm not saying that anybody else put me there or held me there. I held myself there. Okay? I held myself there. I posted something on my Facebook probably some months ago, and I said, nobody has ever bullied me harder than I bullied myself. The question of who I am just came to mind. Am I a bully? Well, that may be a shadow aspect of me. I mean, I don't bully other people or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, that has been a part of who I am. Like really, really hard on myself. That's not a part of me that I like, and that is a part of me that I have been putting in work to, like, okay, you're gonna have to ease up off me, little homie. Okay, because I'm not here for the constant, you got to do better. You got to do better. Like, how about a little try a little tenderness? Okay. How about we try a little tenderness, baby? Because I don't respond. I'm a divine feminine. I need to receive, baby. I need some love. I don't respond too kindly to all this tough stuff that you're trying to do. You know, all of this, you ain't never right, you know. and again, in my experience, you know, for the past, child, 18 years since I started, you know, my faith journey as I know it today. Yeah, I held myself under that boot, baby. And I had to, you know, I had to learn. I had to find my way back to who I am. So getting back to that question, there's so many ways that we could define ourselves. I could define myself as somebody who, I'm a sinner and I need to be saved. I could define myself as, I'm a wild child and I do what the fuck I want. And I said that F word powerfully on purpose because I'm a wild child. I hope that did not offend your ears. Okay. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from. This and that are true. I am this and I am that. And everything in between. You know? I think the most important descriptor, because we're all different, right? Not all of us are Christian. Not all of us are hippie dippies. Not all of us are photographers. Not all of us are accountants. You know, not all of us are spiritual teachers. Not all of us are vegan. Not all of us are plus size models. And not all of us are Beyonce. I'm certainly not. Okay. But what we all are, what you are, what I am, is incredibly and unconditionally loved by the divine. Whether you believe in the divine or not, whether you call the divine God, Allah, the higher power, the creator, source, spirit, Jehovah, okay? Whether you call the divine any of those names, whether you call the divine he, her, them, the universe, just know, or whether you don't call the divine at all, just know that even if you don't believe that there's a power higher than you, that there's a life force higher than you, know that that life force still loves you. You are loved. And you need to know that. You are loved. So no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter how you are, You are loved. Don't you ever forget that. Embrace that. Okay? I think that's all I have to say. I don't think I wrapped this up and made it as pretty and put a little bow on it. Apparently, I like that analogy. I don't think I made this as pretty as I intended for it to be. But I just pray that it goes out with the intention that I set for it, which is for people to hear it, for people to receive it, and for people to develop an incredible love for themselves, which will spill over into a love for others and a love for the divine. If that's your path, your journey, okay? But love yourself, baby. Love yourself. Enjoy yourself. Be yourself. You are worth it. You are worthy. And just because I'm curious, I want to see what time it is right now. If I could, I must be the only millennial who can't ever figure out how to work her phone. Child, how do I get to the screen that tells me what time it is? Okay, it's 8:30. Okay. So just for the very end, 8:30, I'm going to break this down into a mini tarot card reading, okay? And I don't have cards in front of me right now. I'm just using the numbers, and this is based on the major arcana. So we have the numbers 8, 3, and 0. It actually just turned to 8:31, but I'm going to go ahead and read 8, 3, and 0. Okay, so we have 8, which is the strength card. Okay, and we have 3, which is the Empress card, which I already discussed earlier. And we have 0, which is the Fool. Okay, I guess I wasn't done when I said I was done, but I'm about to be done. Okay, number 8 being the Strength card reminds us to stand in our personal power. It reminds us that we need to approach ourselves, our shadow aspects, with the strength of, with gentleness. We need to love ourselves. We need to love others gently while we are standing in our power. It reminds us that you can be strong without compromising who you are. You can be strong. You can stand in your power without compromising who you are at all. Okay, that's number 8, the Strength card. Happy Twins 1111, who I follow on YouTube. Charlotte, if you're listening to this, if you found your way to this is Patrice, and I took your first Reiki attunement class. I think it must have been 6 months ago. I have been meaning to reach out to you. Shouts out to you. I owe you a long message, and I plan to sign up for Reiki Attunement 2, but I probably should do the Reiki 1 again. Okay, that was a tangent, but I'm shouting out Charlotte because her explanation, I read an explanation of the Strength card from her channel the other day, and it was right on time, and it absolutely blew my mind. Okay. Let me move on, but shouts out to you, Charlotte. Much love, much love. That's okay. So that's number 8, the Strength card. Number 3, we talked about the Empress, the ability to receive, and just rest in divine feminine energy. Even if you are a divine masculine, you still have feminine energy that you need to learn how to, rest and receive and create. We need both. And the 0 is the Fool card, which represents a person taking a leap of faith. Okay? So how would I interpret that? I would say stand strong, stand in your power. Also rest in your divine feminine energy and realize that both of these will propel you as you take your leap of faith. When I add 8 and 3 together, plus the 0, well, we know math. 8 and 3 together is 11. 11, I believe, I believe it's the Justice card. I want to say 11 is the Justice card, and that reduces to an 11 also reduces to a 2, which is the High Priestess. So I would look at those as like the extra card or the back of the deck energy or something like that. Overall, realize that, what is for you will not pass you. You will receive, your just rewards, and just follow your intuition. The High Priestess represents like following and listening to our intuition. I was kind of a little fuzzy on the Justice card, but when I think of the Justice card, I think of like the Libra, the balancing of the scales. That's the number 11. Okay, so that was an impromptu tarot card reading without tarot cards. Just based on the numbers. I hope you enjoyed listening to this little conversation that I just had. Oh, I just saw 3535 when I opened my eyes. That's a synchronization? Okay, synchronization for you. Synchronicity. Lord have mercy. Can I speak today? Let me get off this daggone thing. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you so much for listening to this conversation. Patrice, I'm talking to you, baby. Peace out. Mwah.